everybody. My name is Jessica Moultrie. I live here in Southern California. I have 3 little girls that are very, very active in sports, and so I know a lot about being that soccer mom. I don't know how many of you out there have kids who are really active in sports, but it starts feeling like a full-time job. So I'm here today to kind of go through some tips and tricks that will really help you to give your kids the support they need to perform at their best when they're, in their sports or competing in anything that they're doing that's physical. Okay, so these are my 3 little girls. You can see, yes, a household of girls has challenges of its own, but with these 3, they're very rambunctious. I have a 5-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and they're all very, very active. And my oldest actually is very competitive in her sport. So it's almost like a full-time job for sure, handling her sports. So as we go to what these little kids, and even, any age up to 18 years old, kids these days are extremely busy. And a lot of times they're even choosing 1 or 2 sports that they're really focusing on. And so as we look at how we as parents can support them, we obviously want to do our best to give them everything they can to be at their best when they're on the field, when they're competing, when they have a performance, when it's their big day. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is nutritional support. Now, I know that all of us as parents, we're trying to do the very best we can to get wholesome nutrients into our kids. But the truth and the reality of our life, if you have multiple kids that are in multiple sports and activities, is you're on the go all the time. So it may be that you're facing situations where you're eating out all the time, or you're just trying to whip up something that's decent that can get them some nutritional value. So one of the things that I love, and what research has shown, is that kids these days, all of them, or a majority of them, are deficient in certain nutrients like choline and vitamins A and K, vitamin D. And so what I love is that doTERRA has a great supplement that you see here for kids to be able to utilize every single day in their routine that will give them some of those core nutrients that their bodies are craving. So we know kids have different needs than adults do, right? They have, their bodies are growing, they're in that growth phase. You may be having to go to the grocery store and shopping at Costco now because they're going through all the food in your pantry because their bodies are just growing so fast. Their metabolism is really high. And especially if they're adding activity onto that, they probably are very hungry all the time. So we want to get some good things in their body too, because we may not be able to get them to eat enough kale and broccoli and all of those things that we know nutritionally are good for their bodies. So with these chewable tablets, this can be from your little kids all the way up to any even adult who can't swallow pills. So this is a fantastic resource to get a superfood nutrient, right? It's also giving you a B complex for that energy. It's giving you multiple vitamins that our bodies need and crave, and especially formulated for kids for the things that their bodies specifically need. Now, the tablets come in a watermelon flavor. You can take 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And I absolutely love that it's just a convenient option. You can keep it in your car if you forget to do it in the morning so that your kids can just grab a tablet, chew it, and you know that at least they're getting some of those core nutrients in the body. Now, what I love to pair this with is our IQ Omega. Now, our IQ Omega is giving you 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. And those are so important for our kids, especially even at a young age with all kinds of development that's going on. We want to nourish the brain. We want to nourish the cardiovascular system, the immune system. And so adding in omegas into their diet really provides value there. And ours, I don't know if you've ever used omegas, and if it has that nasty fish taste, I promise you, your kids are never going to use it. And so what I love about doTERRA's formulation is they've taken that nasty fish taste away, and they've replaced it with our wild orange essential oil. So it tastes amazing. It smells good. You can add it to smoothies. You can add it to yogurt. They can just take it by the spoonful because it tastes good. And then you're able to get that, again, in their bodies every single day. Now, for my children, I asked my pediatrician how they felt about my older kids taking the Lifelong Vitality supplements, which is what I take, because my kids are easy to swallow pills. And so I got the approval from my doctor to have them take a 1/4 dose of our Lifelong Vitality pack. Now, none of you out there, please don't go and do this unless you've gotten that approval from your doctor. But that is something that you can discuss with them if your kids are in an older age range, just making sure that their bodies can handle it. So that's what we do in our home. My baby, she takes the the chewables and the liquid omega. And I love to supplement that liquid omega for everyone in smoothies and shakes that we do. So additionally, when we talk about supplemental nutrients, a lot of times because we are on the go, we want something that our kids can have that gives them good protein and good fiber that they can get that tastes good, that's something they'll actually utilize. So I actually love using our trim shake. So the trim shake comes in a chocolate and a vanilla flavor. There may be other flavors that are coming out that are available to your kids so that they can find something that tastes good for them. I love to combine this with either water, or you can use raw milk or coconut milk, almond milk, whatever your child prefers having. But I love having this as an option in the morning if we're in a rush to get to school, or even between practices if I want to get something in their stomach. And this has a fantastic protein supplement that's derived from all natural nutrients called Solathin. And what this allows you to do is just stay satisfied a little bit longer. So if they have a long training day after school and there's just not very much time to get a good meal in them before they go to training, this is a fantastic supplement to utilize. Now, if you want to take it over the top and you want to make sure your kids are getting really good greens into their system, you can add a scoop of our Terra Greens in. And this formulation just has all of those really core good greens that we want our kids to eat on a regular basis that may be going bad in your refrigerator because you've been too busy to actually cook them, that you can take these Terra Greens and put a scoop in. You can mix it in maybe spaghetti sauce or put it in the shake that they're drinking, and then they're getting all those good greens also. And I would recommend that you as the parent, because you're rushing around too, maybe you want to go ahead and make yourself a shake too. Okay, let's move into a couple of other things that I'm really passionate about when it comes to the child athlete, and that's working on digestive, immune, and respiratory health. We want their bodies to be in the best possible condition so they can perform at their best and they can feel good while they're doing it. And our job as parents is to try to provide an environment where they can have healthy immune systems and that we have those tools in our arsenal that we can help them in a natural way, right, to get the support their bodies need. So as we look at the things that for me really become core pieces in my kids' routines, it's probiotics. Probiotics are fantastic for the gut. They're fantastic to help support the immune system because so much of your immune system lies in your gut. So we want to make sure that we are giving kids probiotics, and that's actually one of the major deficiencies that they saw in research that kids were missing. And so what I love about doTERRA's PB Assist Junior is it comes in these amazing little packs. It literally tastes like pixie sticks that your kids sneak during Halloween. Yeah, I'm sure they found one in that Halloween basket and they're taking that. So the PB Assist Junior in a pixie stick, they're getting over 5 billion live active bacteria, probiotics from 6 different strands. So what I love about this is that doTERRA actually went above and beyond just that. And they actually encapsulated each individual bacteria to make sure that it could live longer in the gut. And we include a prebiotic in there so that your gut is getting the nutrients it needs and it's in an environment where these bacteria can thrive. So the kids every day in my family love being able to get their PB Assist Junior. I actually have to hide it so that they only get their portion every day of 1 packet, and I love taking it myself. It's a quick, easy way. It's almost like a little sweet treat for them after they eat, and they're able to get really good products in their belly that's going to support the immune system and the gut. Okay. In addition to that, I love using Terrazyme for my older 2 kids that can swallow pills. Now, Terrazyme can be opened up and poured into any of your food if your kids can't swallow pills, so that's a great option to be able to put in oatmeal or yogurt or however you want to use it. But one of the things that I love about using Terrazyme is that no matter what my kids are eating, that if I give them a Terrazyme, it's going to make sure that they have enough enzymes to really break down the food they're eating and absorb any nutrients that happens to be there. So much of our food today, especially that kids are eating, are stripped of the enzymes they need to get them processed and digested. And so I love being able to incorporate Terrazyme as a regular routine, part of their routine, to help break down and absorb nutrients. Okay? So as we move into other products that really support the immune system, I think of all the On Guard products. In our home, if you walk in any bathroom, you're going to wash your hands with On Guard soap. We're going to have On Guard Plus around for any type of season where the immune system is compromised at all. We're going to be able to use things like On Guard Plus to be able to swallow, or you can break it down and pop it in your mouth. So those kids are getting the core essential oils that support the immune system. I also love using the beadlets, the On Guard beadlets on the go especially. I always carry those in my purse because if anybody's getting, a scratchy throat or they're just feeling a little bit under the weather, I'll just pop them a beadlet back and they can break that in their mouth, or if they don't love the flavor of it, they can just swallow it. And it's small enough that it's so easy to use, as often as we need to. And that's easy for you to pack in your purse because it's really small. So another product that I love having on hand is the lozenges. So sometimes when they're playing a lot, or if they're talking a lot in their sport, their throat can just have some overuse going on. And so I love for the kids in between games, or even before they practice or play, to use the On Guard throat lozenges. And then that's really coating their throat, that's getting them On Guard in their system, which I love. And of course, you can utilize On Guard oil, especially diffusing in their rooms at night, or while they're doing their homework, just to improve the environment they're around, to keep that immune system healthy. So as we look into respiratory health, two of my favorite products to use for respiratory health, because listen, these kids, if they're doing anything that requires aerobic activity and really pumping the heart, they want to be able to open the airways as much as possible. So I love being able to use Breathe essential oil. That's one of our blends for the respiratory system. And I love that it comes in multiple forms. So you'll see on this slide that I have the touch oil showing, and that comes in so many of the key essential oils that I use for my family, especially for my little ones. And so I love that I can have those on the go. They're already in a base of fractionated coconut oil, so it's really easy for even the most sensitive skin. I can have it on the go, ready to use at a moment's notice, on their chest, across the bridge of their nose, even on their feet. And the Breathe stick, the vapor stick, provides that same unique sensitivity. If you have any kind of sensitive skin, this is a great way to get Breathe on the skin in an easy, convenient way that is non-threatening to the skin. And so I also love that it kind of lasts a little bit longer because of the format and the consistency of the vapor stick. So those are things to keep in their soccer bag or any kind of backpack that they're carrying. These are things that I love for them to just have on them at all times in their own backpack, and they can use it as they need to. So when we look at the respiratory system, we want to really open those airways so they can be as open as possible when they're competing in hardcore sports. Maybe they're running a lot, or that respiratory system can really need to be activated for them to perform at their best. So one of the things that I love is peppermint essential oil. Now I know that may be the first oil that many of you tried. I know it was the first oil I tried, and I still remember to this day putting a drop in my hand and just breathing it in, and how that really impacted my airways. And so I love for my kids to have this as an option for them to have on hand to utilize, even in just the oil form. So the next section we're going to talk about is emotional support. Now, I already let you know I had 3 girls, so we're going to combine that with them being extremely competitive, okay? And then me as the mother, we all need emotional support going through this, okay? I know for you, you may even want to be a walking diffuser on the sidelines with other parents, I know how that can be. So I'm going to give you some great tips to provide emotional support for your family. The first thing that we use every day that really helps to create a more tranquil environment for us is balance. So balance is our grounding blend, and it does just that. We love to put it right on the bottom of the feet for the kids. We love them to put it on the back of their neck. And this is something that can just help calm and relax everyone before a big performance, before a big day. And that can be sports related, school related, or really anything going on in their life. I love to be able to have balance on hand, and it's really the first oil that we all apply as a family. The second things that are in my arsenal as far as emotional support, and I don't have enough time today to go through all the emotions that we have to deal with in our family, but I'm just going to touch on a few that are my favorite, because when we're talking about sports and having games, a lot of times there can be nerves related with that, and I like to make sure they're in their happiest, most motivated state. So 2 of the essential oil blends that I love to diffuse, especially just to provide that type of environment, is our blend called Motivate and our blend called Citrus Bliss. So these 2 happy oils create a fantastic environment to get any of your child athletes ready to go at a moment's notice. So going into our last section here, of course, when our kids are competing and they are, training their bodies so much, I know for myself, I always look at my oldest daughter and I think, wow, she is putting in a lot of hours through everything she's doing at school, through everything she's doing in her sport. And I want to make sure that I'm also giving her a lot of rest and recovery. So there are some great products that doTERRA has offered to us that we have access to help provide that exact environment for our kids. The first one is really giving them some support to the muscles, right? Because they have been exercised quite a bit during this. So some of the essential oil blends that I love to combine, and you can pick and choose one of these that are your child's favorite. You can use all of them if you want, and just 1 drop of each. And those are Aroma Touch, which I love. It's very calming to the body. It helps to increase blood flow. Love that. Who doesn't need that, right? After working so very hard, the increased blood flow and just that soothing to the muscles. So another essential oil that I love using is cypress, and cypress is really good to help increase circulation in the body. So we really need that, especially when we're talking about recovery. The third essential oil that I love, and this may be one that you guys don't know much about, is white fir. And white fir is such an energizing oil. It's fantastic not only for emotions to help restore confidence and give vitality, but it's also really good to support in the recovery process. Now, of course, my very favorite essential oil blend that we love to use before any type of exercise, practice, game, and also after is Deep Blue. And we love to utilize the rub because it's so easy for the kids to even apply themselves in the rub format. So we'll take the Deep Blue rub and we will put it on the lower back. We'll put it even on the shoulders, on the legs, and that really helps before the game. And then when we're looking to provide some recovery, we can use it after as well. So again, a great tool for you and your kids to have in their backpack. Now, one of the really cool things, and this is my daughter's favorite essential oil, is Past Tense. Now, Past Tense has some powerhouse oils in this blend that help to provide tension relief. And we know that tension can come from multiple ways. Maybe it's emotional tension that they're dealing with. Maybe it's physical tension that's going on in their bodies. But this is a great option to, again, apply right on the neck or on any problem area, specifically in that area. And again, you have to find what is your child's favorite. These are some great options for you to have, and you can let them play around with it to see which one resonates most with them. The other piece of recovery is sleep, okay? Kids need sleep. We need sleep also, but they especially need sleep because their bodies are working overtime with all this growth. And then we're compounding that with them being a very active child. So sleep becomes a very important piece. And their circadian rhythms are a little bit off, so we have to retrain them to be able to go to sleep at a decent time. And one of the essential oil blends for me that really helps to provide a restful sleep environment is our Serenity Restful Blend. I love this blend. I love to put it in a diffuser. I love to rub it on the bottom of their feet. And then my older two actually take one of our Serenity soft gels every night to help them fall asleep and get a really restful sleep. So I love that this is an option for them if they're feeling, like they can't wind down after a late practice or a late game. This is something that I can use as a part of my routine with them to help provide a restful environment for them to get a good night's rest before they take on the same thing the next day. So lastly, some of the things that we deal with, especially with athletes, is some funky skin, okay? So a lot of things can happen with their skin, especially if they're playing in an environment where their hands and their lips and their knuckles get cracked and just irritated. And so I love having Correct-X on hand, which is a non-petroleum ointment that has our powerhouse oils in it, like helichrysum and lavender, melaleuca, cedarwood. Those combine to provide the skin great relief. And you're doing it in a way that's really coating the skin, so it's also providing some moisture. So I love having Correct-X in my purse at all times. The other thing that's really nice to have on hand is melaleuca. So with the melaleuca, you can put it on a cotton ball and stick it in their shoes just to eliminate that nasty odor and create more of a melaleuca smell. The last piece of this, and this is really something that I enjoy doing so much, and that's utilizing our Aroma Touch technique on top of my kids, up and down their spine. either once a week or once a month, depending on, how often they've been training, what their cycle has looked like, what kind of break they're dealing with in their schedule. And so when I take the AromaTouch technique, you can actually purchase all of these essential oils in a convenient kit called the AromaTouch Technique Kit, or you may have all of these essential oils already in your oil arsenal. So the first series of this is really helping to provide some stress management to the body. So we're applying balance and lavender essential oil up and down the spine. The second piece is giving immune support. So we're using oils like On Guard and Melaleuca to do that by dripping them up the spine. The third phase of the AromaTouch technique gives you a positive inflammatory response. So we're using Deep Blue and AromaTouch layered up and down the spine. And then lastly, we want to create homeostasis in the body. So we finish off the layering technique with peppermint and wild orange. And this is something that I love doing with my kids because it provides that connection piece for us, and I'm able to give them a serene environment to help their body get an overall well-being experience after a really long weekend or a really long week. And again, you can do this frequently, maybe once a week if you have time for that, but once a month at a minimum. So at the end of the day, I hope that these tips and tricks are something that you feel like you can implement. And listen, you can get your kids involved in this process. You can teach them about all of these options that they have and why it's good for them to utilize it. You as a parent can feel empowered that you're doing your very best and you have an arsenal full of tools that you can use at a moment's notice to help provide support to these very active kids. I hope all of you are enjoying the webinar series we're providing here, and ultimately I hope your kids are enjoying the benefits that they will get by you becoming an expert in this area. Thank you so much for being with me today.